Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast presents episode 668, MCC Wishes Evolved, recorded live on February 14th, 2019. Hello everyone, welcome to Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast. I am your host, Duststorm.
I'm your co-host, Godzilla T.
And this week we are going into this a little bit blind because I didn't have time to prepare. Or you could call me a slacker, either way. We have a little news to talk about though. We got some MCC updates and it is Valentine's Day as well. So there is some special Valentine's Day things happening in the Halo world. Plus, we have another topic that we finally got out onto the street. I think this is our second topic of the year, which we're actually going to get to. So we have that to go over. But first things first, GT, how's your week?
My week's actually going good-ish.
Ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's put it this way. It could be much worse, and it's not yet. Coming home tomorrow could be interesting. They are talking anywhere from 2 to 6 inches of snow. Yay!
Fun.
More snow. Yes, more snow.
All the snow. Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with the snow. It's all the morons that are out in it that I have a problem with.
That usually is the problem for most people.
If I'm out there by myself, I don't have a problem.
I am the same way.
But no, all things are going good for me. I got a new toy today, and I will be spending some quality time with it this weekend, probably.
Yes.
After I get some editing done. Now that I have my computer back.
Yay! New toys are fun. Lots of fun, especially the toy that he got. For those that were in the stream a little bit early, got to hear a little tail end conversation of that.
Something about a rack, I think, is what they heard, but and it's not that kind of rack.
All out of context. Let's just pull it all out of context. Yeah.
No, I purchased a used server, and it's going to be. I'm going to turn it into my main storage server for my home network.
And they've somehow gotten really cheap.
Right now, there's a surplus of them on the market, so prices are low. So I figured I'd jump on it while I had the money and the prices were right. So, yes, layered a media server, among other things. Survey says now you just have to fill it with hard drives. That's the expensive part.
You just do JBOD and get a bunch of cheapo drives.
No. No. It's good. I'm doing this right. I'm going to be using some NAS quality drives because this thing, the drives aren't that far apart and they need all the help they can get.
Yep. Especially if you fill all the bays. That's going to be nuts.
It'll be a while before I fill all the bays. I'm probably just going to have 4 drives in it. And over time, as I need them, I'll start adding on. One of the drives is for basically backup. The other drive is going to be just like a cache drive. And then I'll have storage drives. And
probably a host system drive or something like that.
Actually, the operating system will run off a USB stick. So, matter of fact, that's the only way it'll run. It doesn't have the ability to be installed on a hard drive.
For that server? Really?
Well, for the operating system I'm going to use. Because I'm not running Windows. I'm not going to be running Windows. I'm going to be running I believe it's a version of Linux.
So it's not like a VMware or...
No, it's nothing like that. It's actually, the name of it is Unraid.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that before.
And from what I've been able to gather with it, it seems to fit my knowledge base as far as what I know about networking. it seems to be the most user-friendly out of all of them.
Fair enough.
In other words, I don't need to be dust to be able to use it.
I don't know if I'm that smart, but okay.
It does have the capabilities if you do have the ability to program in Linux. You can make the thing do some pretty neat stuff.
My roommate in college could do some crazy stuff with Linux that just made my head spin. It's like, what? You built your own kernel? What?
Yeah. But, I've looked at FreeNAS, I've looked at, of course, Unraid, and I've looked at a couple other ones, and Unraid seems to be able to do everything I want to, and it's easy to operate.
Makes sense then.
Might actually do video on it. I don't know.
I mean, depending on how fast the drives are, you could. Or if you end up having a couple of drives that are rated together, then you get a little bit more speed increase.
YouTube drive or YouTube video.
Oh.
Yes, I'm going to be storing video on it. That's the whole purpose of the stupid thing.
Yeah. No, good point. But yeah, as for me, it's been a pretty good week. Being out last week was definitely an eye-opener for work, and is going to be causing a lot of work for the next 6 months at least. So going into the Halo season, as I'll call it, the summer sessions of Outpost Discovery, work is just going to be hectic through all that. It'll be interesting to see what comes my way over the next 6 months and all the fun stuff with work. My wife and I are actually going out to a couples retreat this weekend for Valentine's Day. It's, I think, a weekend to remember. I forget who puts it on, but it's out in Hershey, Pennsylvania, so we're going up there for the weekend.
Cool.
Yeah. Get to have some quality time up there, and then we come back to a holiday. So neither of us work on Monday, so that's nice.
Oh, that's cool.
I really need to get my car in the shop.
How did you score Monday as a holiday?
Hmm?
You freaking government workers, you're always on holiday.
Yeah, got 2 last month, got 1 this month. But then there's a whole string of no holidays after that.
Yeah, well, my string of no holidays is a hell of a lot longer than yours. My next paid holiday is 4th of July. My last one was New Year's Day. So,
sorry. Thanks for paying my salary.
It's a good thing you live on the other side of the country, Dust.
Halfway across, because you're not all the way across the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got our Fraggin' Friday, which we did not do last week.
Well, we did and we didn't.
Right. We had the podcast last week.
Yeah, we did play. I did have a lobby going while we did last week's show.
Which was a long show.
Yeah, it only ran for about from 9 to 10. Well, sorry, from 10 to 11 East Coast time. But we were having fun. I couldn't really be that involved in it because I was in the middle of doing the podcast. But we had fun. We had a few people come in and we played mostly some Super Fiesta.
Nice. Can't go wrong with Super Fiesta.
No, it's always fun.
Good stuff.
If they ever take it away, I will quit playing Halo.
I don't see why they would ever take it away and to what logic. No, I mean like
in the next game.
Oh. It might not be there at the very start, but it will eventually come down the pipe.
No, it needs to be there at launch. I'm sorry, that has to be a match-made playlist. At launch.
Just Action Sack / Super Fiesta.
No, just Super Fiesta. Action Sack can come later. Super Fiesta needs to be there at launch.
It's going to be interesting to see if they kind of keep the weapon class structure that they have in Halo 5, because this is the first time we've really had any kind of
This is the first time we've had the crazy weapons, yeah.
Yes.
It is going to be interesting to see what the sandbox does with Infinite. Because if it's quote unquote a more classic Halo game, then it won't have those crazy weapons. I'm not saying it can't have them, but
yeah,
I really hope that this weapon sandbox comes forward because it's a lot of fun.
It really is. It's going to be interesting to see what they bring across.
I cannot see there not being a multiplayer layered.
Yeah, there's too much relying on Halo multiplayer, I think. I did stream on Sunday. Did some Halo Wars with Bobby. So we got through Arcadia City. And then we worked on some multiplayer achievements. And since it's the achievements we got on the 360 version of Halo Wars, since we're trying to go through the 360 games now, in case those servers ever decide to close out at some point, because we don't know when that day's going to happen, but it happened with the OG stuff, so it could happen, I guess.
Well, I think it happened with the OG stuff because they made such a change from the original Xbox to the 360 in networking.
True.
And I don't think when they went to the Xbox One, there was that big of a change because they support, the matchmaking in Halo 3 still. So yeah. I honestly, it may never go away, or it's maybe a very long time before it does.
Yeah, which if that's the case, then I'm all for it. But it's just one of those things. Like I better start working on these now before the possibility even comes around, saying, "Hey, in 6 months we're discontinuing the service, and I have all these achievements that are going to be locked." But I mean, the original Xbox games didn't have achievements, and the 360 games have achievements. So maybe that's something that will keep that piece of it around. So I don't know. just working on that. So the 3 achievements that I got was I just got a liked from a Mrs. Postums on Twitter. That's okay.
Really?
Yeah. I wonder if that's actually legit, or if that's just a. It looks like it could possibly be legit.
Yeah, could be.
It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, they're followed by Postums, so it could be legit.
Maybe Postums has got an alter ego tonight.
Maybe. we will see.
Laird says anyways, that's his wife.
Okay, so it is. Cool. Thanks for the confirmation. All right, we have 3 achievements that I got. The first one was completing 24 hours of total playtime. So it's called 24 hours of quality. The next one was Titan, get 20,000 points in any skirmish game. And then Never Leave a Man Behind, which was finished with 5,000 net resources distributed to your teammates on Memorial Base and Accept and Deathmatch. So we were going for another achievement, which was to try to win in less than 10 minutes. One of them, but then Bobby realized that we didn't have the game mode set up right, so we just went for this 20,000 one. It took us almost an hour and 20 minutes to actually play that mission, play that game.
Yeah.
So, but we got it, and I got 3 achievements out of it.
Were you playing a legendary AI or what?
No. I think heroic?
Yeah, because I think to get that achievement, you have to do it against a legendary AI.
Then maybe it was legendary.
Well, you just said it was set up wrong, so.
Win a heroic skirmish game against AI in under 2 minutes. So it was probably on heroic. But we had a lot of fun. A lot of fun with that one. And I have been working on Definitive Edition just on my own to kind of get through some of the easy ones off stream. So I've played through Arcadia City, so I've gotten all those campaign missions done up through that point. So been doing some of those as well.
Did you rescue Tommy or Timmy or whatever his name is?
Adam, yes, I saved Adam.
Adam. You saved Adam. Oh, that's good.
I did. So the ones I have for Definitive Edition already are complete missions 1, 2, 3, and 4. Finish one mission under part-time on heroic difficulty, unlocked a timeline event, collected your first skull, and saving Adam.
Cool.
That's what I got for achievements so far. And I did stream with the wife on Tuesday, so we actually got through 2 missions. We got through Outskirts and Metropolis. And actually a lot quicker than I thought we would, to be honest.
Yeah, she did really well. I was actually there watching.
Yeah, she got turned around.
You should have went the shortcut route and just kind of hovered down over and watched from down, from up top.
Well, she relies
different point of view.
Yeah, that would be interesting. She relies on me just kind of as that anchor point of, okay, I know I'm in the right spot, so don't think that would have helped her out too much. But yeah, that would have been funny. It's like, I'm up here. Guess how you get up here? You probably won't. Anyways.
Well, you could have thrown a skull at her.
Would she be able to see it? Well, actually, do the skulls activate in Halo 2, even if, like when you pick them up in the game? Or is it
they don't activate. You just collect them. They
disabled
that.
They don't activate anymore. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like in OG Halo 2 where you pick them up and then they turn on.
Okay.
The screen flashes and you hear a whoosh. And then if you haven't picked up the skull before, you get the achievement.
Okay, got it.
You should have at least showed her the soccer ball.
That'll be another time around. Like, that takes a little bit of a setup to actually get.
No, it doesn't. It's one grenade jump. It's not that hard.
That's right. I'm thinking of the scarab gun.
Yeah, no, the scarab gun, that's kind of a pain. Especially in co-op.
You're right. I was thinking the scarab gun. Yeah. So we will we be streaming on Tuesday? We might be streaming on Tuesday. I'm not sure yet. I might have to drive 2 hours for a work thing for Wednesday morning and then come back, so I'm not sure. Not sure if that's happening yet. We'll try to stream on Tuesday. And she gets to play as someone new, which I don't think she's expecting yet, although she's in the room, so I might have just given that away. But regardless of that, yeah, so streaming went well on Tuesday, and she got through pretty well. Although she walked a fair amount on Outskirts. But she's getting better every time she plays. So that's cool to see.
I like the discussion on who was taking the tank.
Yeah, she said she would take the tank. I'm like, okay, get in the tank. And then she gets in the Warhog. I'm like, you gonna take the tank? And she's like, I'm in the tank. No, you're in the Warhog. And then it's like, she wants to ride both of us. It's like, can't really do that. It's either you drive the tank or you don't drive the tank, and that's about it.
Well, she can ride on the fender.
Yeah, but I want her to kind of
exposed out there, but
yeah, kind of want her to do the experience a little bit. But she drove the tank really well, and it's a lot easier in Halo 2 than it was in Halo 1.
And then they screwed it up in Halo 3 again. Yeah, the Halo 2 tank definitely drives better than the Halo CE tank.
Yeah, the Halo 3 tank is like, if you turn it just a little too much, then it gets all out of whack.
That's one thing I never could understand. Why could the tank controls not be consistent?
Trying different things with it, I guess. I don't know. I really don't know.
They get it right, and then they break it.
Well, it was good in Halo 4 and 5, right? So I think Halo 3 was the only time it was really broken.
Well, Halo 3 and Halo 3 went backwards. Halo 4 was a little bit better, and then Halo 5 was a little bit better than that, but I still like driving the Halo 2 tank.
Sure. Some of the simpler things are a lot better.
Especially since I could control the machine gun, too.
Yes, that's true. All right. Let's get to some news. We haven't covered this in the last couple of shows, I think. So I wanted to go ahead and cover it now. But Obi-Wan Kenobi's intro, I think we just touched on it, right? We didn't actually read it on the 2 shows ago. Is that right?
I don't know. I've slept since then.
Okay. Well, I wanted to read through this anyways. And the folks on the ACS Pro Talk did it as well. But this is Justin Robbie. He's the player voice. I forget what it is. Director of player voice. That's his position. And either Uni or Snickerdoodle. I think this was probably Uni before Snickerdoodle was officially on the team. Could have been her though. I can't remember exactly. But asked him what he's actually going to be doing as director of player voice, and this is what he has to say. It's funny, since the announcement of me joining the team about a week ago, I have gotten to see what everyone else's perspective is on what my role will be and their expectations on what this means for the game. I'm sure everyone else is having those same questions. Some I feel should give them my number and take calls all day and night. Others think I literally decide who gets to play the voice of Master Chief. I guess that's a way to interpret the director of player voice. The majority of the community, though, understands fundamentally that I am on the team as a director leader to represent the diverse group of players who interact with Halo now, in the past, and in the future. Regardless of people's perceptions, what has been energizing is how excited the community is about having someone represent them for Halo Infinite. The director of player voice role is very multifaceted. It's about becoming a unifying voice that takes in all the different ways we gather player feedback. That means working with the community, esports, flighting, test, and the multitude of other avenues we use to collect feedback from the player. Then using those perspectives to ensure the player is heard and represented in the design and production of the game as it moves through development. It's also about ensuring that the game is verified against actual players in both very public and very behind closed door methods, depending on what avenue makes the most sense for the game and where it is at in development. This role represents a shift that has been happening in 343 for a while, and I know many of you who have been following the work we have been doing on the Master Chief Collection. It's critical to our success both as a studio and for Halo Infinite. Now, I know words are cheap, and I have seen some of that feedback already, so it's about showing you, and we will. So stay tuned, and you will start to see ways in which we can find ways to engage and ensure your feedback is heard. In the meantime, I've been watching your videos on YouTube, hanging out in the Halo Discord server, reading threads on Waypoint and Reddit, and of course all the feedback that I'm seeing on Twitter and social media. It's not going to be perfect. We're going to make mistakes, but you guys are a critical part of making Halo Infinite great. That's the part that excites me. So there you go. Justin Robbie.
So he is literally our voice.
Yes, our voice to the developers. And he's not on the community team, so he's not under that hierarchy. He is in a separate group, and he is responsible for being that voice to the studio and filtering through all the weird things that the community can sometimes throw at the developers. So it is a tall task, to say the least. I don't know how much he's going to be able to get into the public spotlight of things, but if there is a chance to have him on the show, we will definitely jump at it. So we'll see when and if that happens. So that one's from a couple of weeks ago. I know it's a little bit old news now, but we've had some pretty crazy stuff happen over the past couple of weeks, and we just wanted to follow up on that piece.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Just a little bit. The first recent article that we have is an HCS-related update for Halo 3 settings. And I'm just going to read this one verbatim because, again, didn't really have as much time to prepare as I would have liked to. Since Halo 3 has come back into competitive scene in a big way, we've been keeping an eye on the competitive settings from both a player and viewer's perspective. For the HCS Invitational at South by Southwest, we're planning to make some minor changes, but we are looking for your help in collecting data and providing feedback. With Oddball on Guardian and King of the Hill on Construct, we begin noticing many dead man walking scenarios where at the end of a game, one team is so far ahead that it's mathematically impossible for the other team to come back. This is especially true for Oddball on Guardian. For viewers, this often leaves the match in a weird state where some players are still playing, some have put their controllers down to celebrate, and perhaps some have even taken to Twitter to announce their victory. Wow.
Yeah.
That's when you know you have it bad. It's kind of like a throwback to the days where in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, you would see someone get behind the sniper that was scoped in, send them a message over Xbox Live on the console, and then slowly see them turn around and realize that someone's behind them, and then that person shoots them. And it's like a good 30-second long ordeal.
Yeah.
For the whole thing to go down.
Well, that's one of those deals. That's your own fault for staying scoped in so long.
And not noticing, yeah. Be aware of your surroundings at all times.
Yes.
In matchmaking, we believe these scenarios where the outcome is decided before the game actually ends is also causing players in matchmaking to quit rather than finish out the remainder of their match. To alleviate this issue, we're looking at reducing the score to win for Oddball and King of the Hill from 250 to 200 on both Guardian and Construct. It's a minor change that we hope will have a meaningful impact. We've talked to each of the team captains attending the HCS Invitational, and they'll be scrimming, practicing in custom games, with the updated settings so that we can watch and gather qualitative feedback. Additionally, we'll be updating the Halo 3 Team Hardcore playlist in MCC from February 15th to February 17th to get more test coverage and also pull data on how the new settings are performing. Overall, we're looking for the percentage of games that end on score rather than time to increase, as well as a decrease in quit rates. Based on the data and feedback we receive, we'll be looking to officially implement the settings updates for the HCS Invitational and the Halo 3 Team Hardcore playlist by the end of February, just in time for the big event at South by Southwest. We continue to keep you updated on the progress along the way, so be sure to follow at HCS on Twitter and for the latest. We've also created a forum thread here on Waypoint where you can chime in with your thoughts, and we'd love to hear if you think any other changes to the competitive settings should be considered. Thanks, Tashi. So for anyone that is participating in any of the Microsoft 2v2s, I guess this wouldn't apply. Never mind. But there is the, what is it? Gamers for Giving tournament as well. So that'll probably affect that tournament after the Invitational. So there you go. Next article that we have is the update for MCC, the February update. So starting off this, we have a tweet from Cornman himself saying that him and Psychoduck were trying to recreate the MCC winter theme background in real life in the parking lot for Seattle's snow day, because right now the West Coast is getting slammed with snow and rain. For those that haven't been seeing the posts from Unisheck and Grim and Postums and all the 343 employees, there's a lot of unexpected snow there right now.
Just a wee bit.
Yeah. Like I said, neither of us are photographers, so we're looking for someone to get us closer to the finish line. And in a, dare I say, MCC Cartographers Challenge.
Well, I think the first thing they could do is probably move away from the visitor parking area.
Yeah, put a little bit of a different background on it.
That's actually pretty cool.
So someone went into Paint or Photoshop or something, and they actually recreated their own version, kind of in a cartoonish one, but it made the update. It was one of the only responses to Cornman, and that's by @Vasio on Twitter, or Voss the Boss. And it's a nice little piece, actually. It pretty much does look like it resembles the background in MCC. So nicely done. It looks like it is a Photoshop of the actual image, because you can see the screw of the gas tank on the back. Very nicely done. The hashtag is interesting, MCC Cartographer. So that's cool. For Valentine's Day, there is a new nameplate in MCC, and there are a couple of ways to get it. The first way to get it is via multiplayer, and that is playing in the new Team Doubles social playlist. And that is good for if you get 10 games done. And then there is also co-op. If you complete 3 co-op missions, you can also get the nameplate. So 2 different ways to get the Valentine's Day nameplate. And sorry, it's not Team Doubles, it's multi-team in social games, not Team Doubles. The Team Doubles is in ranked, because that's the Microsoft Store 2v2 team doubles playlist that was added. So, my bad. But yeah, so 10 games of multi-team or 3 co-op campaign missions will earn you the Valentine's nameplate. It's a pretty cool one. I've seen a lot of good feedback on Twitter about it already. Another exciting feature that a lot of the pros have been asking for is IP masking. It's actually made it into this build. So there is a new option in settings that you can go into under network, and it's called relays. And if you turn relays on, that means it'll use relays to mask your IP. And there are a couple of scenarios that Postums have thankfully listed for us, helping define when your IP will be discoverable in MCC and when it will not be. So in matchmaking, if relays is set to on, then no one will see your IP. Even your voice traffic goes through the relay. And since you're on dedicated servers, the gameplay IPs aren't really there anyways. In custom games, since those are peer-to-peer, people can still see your IPs. Co-op campaign and Spartan Ops are also the same. Anything that's matchmaking with relays turned on, you're set. Anything else that is kind of more intentional, so custom games, co-op campaign, and Spartan Ops, there will not be relays available to you. But still, matchmaking is the point where it actually is a problem.
Well, yeah, that's where it's the biggest threat.
Yep. I wasn't expecting for that feature to be in so quickly. I thought it would have been at least a couple more months.
Well, apparently it was a relatively easy thing to implement, to get it to come in that quickly, because I think they first started talking about it, 3 months ago?
Yeah, I want to say November, December.
Yeah, something like that.
Because it was shortly after the finals, which was September?
Mm-hmm.
October? Something like that. Yeah. So no, that was actually pretty good turnaround. Glad to see that. For the social games game categories, there's a couple of changes as well. Based on player feedback, they're looking at, or they already have looked at, more logical grouping of game types. They have heard that people want FFA. They're not ready to implement that quite yet, but they are looking for ways to fill that void and looking to how they can implement that. So a couple new groups that have been added to the social games category is Flag and Bomb. So attack and defend bases in scenarios involving flag and bomb objectives includes capture the flag, assault, and ricochet. So basically all your objective modes that are flag or ball related are in one sack now. Zone control. Capture and control zones on the map to earn points. This includes King of the Hill, territories, extraction, and dominion. And then asset denial. Attack enemy targets and defend your own. This includes oddball, VIP, and regicide.
Regicide.
So they basically took the similar game modes and bulked them all together. So that's kind of cool. I could see where there's some community feedback on that. I'm curious to try that out. I'm hoping that makes the flighting stuff a little bit better too, if they keep those kinds of categories in there.
It definitely couldn't hurt.
I don't think so. We shall see, though. Some other patch notes related to MCC and the global campaign. They fixed mission tracking issues, so campaign achievements will unlock much more reliably when resuming after a game update. So they broke it, now they fixed it. Yay!
Yay!
Fixed a bug where timing was improperly calculated to properly award the achievement for completing an under 3-hour legendary playthrough for a campaign.
Well, I guess it's good they fixed that before you went to finish your goat rope.
Yeah. That would... Ooh. For global matchmaking, they added several new game variants with various fixes and improvements. For Halo CE, BTP variants globally now have 15-minute time limits to include Halo PC weapons, including the fuel rod and the flamethrower. So that's kind of cool. fixed an issue where the intended vehicle set was being doubled in BTB Slayer. And BTB CTF no longer requires flag at home to score and disables instant touch return.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, those are important. Both of those are important. For Halo 2, infinite sudden death has been disabled for 1 flag and 1 bomb variants. So does that mean it's a timer sudden death now? Oh no, infinite sudden death. So I guess like after a certain time, that infinite sudden death goes away. I don't know, I guess I haven't played enough Halo 2 matchmaking to come across that.
I think what it was is as long as somebody was holding the flag or the bomb.
Yeah, you had that 5 seconds or something.
It wouldn't complete the match.
That could be an issue for some match-made games.
Yeah, that sudden death it's got good things and it's got bad things. You know, if the score's 2-1 and the trailing team has the flag, then it should go into sudden death. Or if the score is tied and one team has the flag or bomb. But yeah, it's I don't know. That it's kind of a weird thing. It's hard to make it fair for everybody.
I'm not even sure if they had that logic in Halo 2 to begin with.
Well, they had sudden death in Halo 2, but
right, but whether or not it was sudden death in a multi-flag situation where the winning team had the flag held or the losing team had the flag held, something like that. I knew there were stages to the sudden death mechanic in Halo. It's just at what stage were certain things implemented and set up. Looking ahead, the Forge conversion tool is getting nailed down, so they have a couple of good things to show off, which they have in the update. And for those that have been following Twitter a little bit, especially Postum's Twitter, he put out a poll of mongooses or mongeese. What's the proper plurality of that word? And I actually put this out on Twitter, and Snickerdoodle said that she was the one that actually named the images, but one of them is named mongooses and one of them is named mongeese. No relation to the actual images themselves, but it's just funny to see that in there in the update. So there are a couple of maps that they're looking to bring to MCC, and they took some blurry screenshots to kind of tease it. I'm pretty sure I know what one of them is, because it's a map on Sandbox.
Yeah, I was going to say, that really looks like Sandbox, and that really looks familiar.
It does look familiar to me, too. The second one, I'm thinking is also Sandbox, but I'm not sure. Because it looks like it has the tower on the right there, but then it looks like it has a little blue, just one of the lights that you could put out in Halo 3 Forge. But it's not a map I recognize.
That one's kind of a close-up shot, where the other one's a little bit further out, where you can kind of get a shape of the whole map. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what those are.
Mm-hmm.
Coming soon to MCC near you.
That's right. There's no scoop for this issue of the MCC update, but that doesn't mean that there won't be in the future. So there will be plenty of more scoops to come. And finally, this week, we have the Community Spotlight.
Which I'll bet nobody can guess what it's full of.
Valentine's Day. So our friend Primordial 117 is featured yet again. He's getting featured a lot.
Well, he does good work.
He does. And can you believe, he said this on Twitter, these 4 images are not photoshopped in any way. They're straight from Forge.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with Forge.
These first 4 images in this update, for those that are watching or listening, go to the update. It's the February 14th Spotlight. The first 4 images, which are all by Primordial 117, they are all native Forge captures. Just blows my mind, man. Just blows my mind. wonder how much time it takes. And he puts out screenshots regularly.
Well, this kind of stuff, he could have been planning ahead too.
Well, I'm sure he was, but with how often he comes out with them, or at least how often it seems like he comes out with them, he's pretty quick on his toes in Forge. Thank you, Misa, for the link. So we have a bunch of other really cool Valentine's themed stuff. And again, I haven't really figured out a good way to get it on the stream yet. I need to work on that. That'll come by at some point. But the first one here, I don't know what you call these things, but it's where you have the board and the nails and you string all the nails together, but it's a Halo icon on a board, which looks really, really cool.
Which somebody has a lot of time in that. Wow.
Yeah. I don't know how long it would have taken to put this together. And it looks really good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just running the string, geez. I don't know how many miles of string are in there.
It probably would be miles at some point, wouldn't it?
It's a lot, that's for sure.
Wow. Jeez. Next one we have is from @Jacob Updal on Twitter, who met his girlfriend on Halo 3, and his girlfriend wrote a very punny but touching Valentine's Day note. So there are things in here that it's just, if you have a chance to read the note, there are so many different like pun Halo nods in there. It's like Recon, Regret, Genesis,
Recognize.
I hope you get to relax tonight. Yeah,
Infa Nightly.
Right.
She did a really good job.
I recognize how infinitely lucky I am. So it's worth the read. It's really cool. I'm wondering if she hand drawn the Cortana too.
I don't know, but that's a really good drawing of Cortana. The one thing I have to say, the one thing I'm surprised that I don't see in this is two squid kissing. It's one of Johnson's lines, by the way.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh boy. What book is that from that I haven't read yet?
Well, I hope you've read this thing, read this book. It's First Strike.
Oh, it is in there?
Yeah, when he's describing the unyielding Hierophant.
Oh.
Looks like two squid kissing.
Oh. That's okay. That vaguely sounds familiar.
But I have to admit, that's not exactly mainstream Halo, so I can forgive them.
Oh, jeez.
That gave me an idea for next year.
Okay, cool. Next favorite one for me is a render done by Rat Dad Joe, which is done in Blender. It's a crashed pelican in a frozen forest.
What is it with people and crashing pelicans?
I think crashed pelicans is just a thing. It's been a thing since Halo 1, if you think about it, to be honest.
Well, don't get me. Yeah, I know. I mean, they've been in pretty much every Halo game. Actually, they've been in every Halo game in one way or another.
Yeah. Crashed pelicans are the red shirts of the Halo universe.
I guess.
Yeah. There's some really cool drawings down below. Oh, I really love this one. This one was shared in the Discord server, done by Dreamy Dragon. It's the Portal at Voy, but it's all wood art. This one's so cool, and it's a layered panel, so kind of is a throwback to how they used to do like the fly-through animations where you had the panels and they would stretch and whatnot, but it looks so cool. So the first panel is Chief and Arbiter. Second panel is the edge of the portal. The third panel is the key ship, and the fourth panel is the Covenant ships in the background. And it's so cool.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
That's a conversation point right there. Really well done. So there is a share your content channel in the Halo Discord. So if you got some pretty cool stuff, you can share things over there. They don't take things just from Twitter. And I think Snickerdoodle is trying to find a lot more places to pull stuff from. So if you post it and you tag it with hashtags and whatnot and post in the right places, it will get seen. And we're getting to the non-Valentine's Day stuff here, but a lot.
I tell you what, I like this one of the Lord of Admirals from the Forerunner trilogy. You know, the way they've done it, they really seem to have drawn it directly from the books. I mean, this is kind of what I envisioned when I envisioned this character. It was done by
A.A. Uditor.
Yeah, 8 Uditor. I'm sorry for butchering that.
Yeah, kind
looks
of think
like
about
it was a
speed painting. Yeah, and there's a video of the speed painting in the video section of the update.
That's just cool. Got the foldable Mr. Chief.
Yeah, which that looks like it was, I guess, handcrafted. Is that the right term?
Yeah,
that's pretty good. It doesn't look like it's overly complex, but it really adds to the effect.
A full-scale arc light.
Mm-hmm. A custom-built Mega Bloks Pelican.
Mm-hmm. With Warthog. I want
that to be a real set.
And of course, you have your obligatory doggy photos in Master Chief kit.
They're so cute. The picture's so cute. I love doggies. I'm going to go back up to one where someone 3D printed a superintendent. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, the logo.
I need to have that so I can have it like on my wall back here for Virgil.
Well, just go buy you a 3D printer and go at it.
Yeah, that's another thing I'd have to run by the wife. And then the watercolor one right above it by Nindoris. That one's really cool too. We have Puckett's Top 10 Plays of the Week, which this week is pretty good.
Yeah, actually, the stuff he's getting is really good. I mean, it's really good stuff. And I mean, it's not all people just pulling off insane snipes either, but, you know, like most of those montages are, you know, there's a good mix of play in there. That's what I like.
And it seems like it was just one of those things where he getting over that initial rough start. I think he's gotten past that because this installment seemed to flow a lot better than previous ones. That was cool to watch. I did not have a chance to watch the Mega Bloks stop motion. Looks like it is a little bit Valentine's Day themed. And then we have back to trick jumping montages.
Haven't seen those in a while.
No, it's been a while. All the modern
the
games,
only time I see them are, you know, the originals from like Halo 3 that came out like in 2008.
Mm-hmm. That's when, I mean, a lot of the trick jumping stuff, they try to code that out now, but it's cool to see them still trying. There'll always be a group that's still trying, I think, to make those happen.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's just because of the change in the physics of the game. I mean, it's not something that they've really built out. It's just with the way they've retuned the physics of player movement, trick jumping is a little bit more difficult to pull off. You know, it's like like we were talking when we were talking to play Griffball. Just the physics of the gravity hammer have changed the way they play their game. The launching is not the same as it was in Halo 3. Matter of fact, I was watching a speed run of Halo 3 today, and yeah, you know, you can't launch yourself across the map with a gravity hammer like you could in Halo 3.
Nope. Not anymore. And well, Halo 3 had some weird physics with the gravity hammer, too. You can't spell yourself with a cone either.
That's not entirely a bad thing, but...
And to wrap things up for this update, we got some tweets. So the first one we actually already covered, I think, in the previous episode, but it was where someone drew kind of some very simple covers of the Forerunner saga. And I think these are fun to go over again. So the first one being Cryptum, they have Halo Didac creates a clone, the Toyota Forerunner saga. The second one, which is based off of Primordium, is Tourism on a Space Bagel, the inexplicably complicated architecture saga. This is by
fits.
Goog Boog. And then the third one, based on Silentium, is Shh, the Galaxy Sleep. The No, They're Not Ancient Humans saga by Grubro. Those are always fun to see again. Next one we have is Angels and Demons, which is some pretty cool screenshots from Halo 5. A really nice artwork piece of the Halo Reach Mark 5B helmet with the haunted skull effect in it. The drone with the Minecraft pickaxe is pretty funny.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Ascendant Hyperion has a cool one in there, which is supposed to be kind of inspired by real-world military shots done in Blender, which is also pretty cool. And, yeah, that's kind of all the ones that stick out to me. And then, of course, all the hype or the crazy things about Will Smith being in Aladdin as the genie. And
Will Smith's the genie in Atlanta? In Aladdin?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
He'll never replace Robin Williams.
No, he won't.
It ain't gonna happen. I'm sure he'll do well in the role, but it won't be the same.
Do you think if Robin Williams was still alive that they would have tried to cast him again?
Hell, he probably would have volunteered to do it.
I mean, I'm guessing he would.
You know, the way they wrote the cartoon Aladdin, his personality just kind of fit.
Yeah, we'll see how this one turns out. But anyways, so Sam writes in, or Snickeldoodle writes in, that no Aladdin is complete without Genie, just like Chief isn't complete without Cortana. Then there's Gintana, Cortani, and my computer's going crazy here. Not really sure, but what Bree is calling this, but it exists and everyone should see it. So Bree is Green Skull's girlfriend, and she took the Halo 4 Master Chief holding Cortana out and put Will Smith's Genie in there.
With the smoke tail and everything.
Yeah, it's, take it for what you will. So, yeah.
It's definitely interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it is. Yes, it does. Yes, it is. It is very interesting. So that is it for the community update. Again, I'm still looking to see what we're going to do to try to get the update in the podcast to talk about it. I know it's a little hard for the download version of it, so it might just be something where we just keep going through talking about it. And we go from there. A couple of other updates from the community side of things. Installation 01 has an update, and there's some pretty cool things coming out of there. We've got forklift.
Mm-hmm.
Forky's back. What?
What?
Yeah. Yeah. They have a couple of models for vehicles that they're showcasing in the latest update, which was on the 10th. They do have one which looks like it's a model very similar to the new Mombasa police car. So it's some early renderings. It's all gray renderings right now, but they said it won't hit 80 miles. It might not hit 80 miles. Yeah, it might not hit 88 miles an hour, but still looks pretty sweet. So showing off some car models there, and then they show off their forklift, which looks pretty true to the Halo Reach forklift, if I do say so.
Yeah, it does. I was looking at pictures of that earlier. I just realized something. Do you ever notice that most of the cars in Halo kind of look like the DeLorean? The cars, not the vans, the cars.
No.
They're just kind of this wedge shape.
I'm trying to think through it now.
You don't see it anyway.
I kind of do, but I never really stopped to think about it.
It just dawned on me right then. So anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
It just okay. It's amazing what pops into your head while you're.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just you look at something, it's like, oh yeah, it does look like a DeLorean.
Ding, 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 ding.
So the forklift is still a work in progress, and I think there's a rumor out there that they're trying to make it drivable, but I don't know how accurate that rumor is.
Well, if it's in there, it needs to be drivable. I'm sorry.
And it was drivable in Reach, so.
And I think they need. I think they need to bring in the feature of the forks going up and down too.
Yeah, that would be cool. There are still positions open to join the team as well. So if you are a QA tester, programmer, VFX artist, lighting artist, sound designer, animator, concept artist, or 3D artist, they are looking for help. And then they are also showing off, or they have another picture of their Bungie 1999 Spartan armor in their game. So that's pretty cool. So that's the update for Installation 01. There's also an update for Downfall. This one was February 12th, so a couple of days ago. They're showing off their Wraith. And they also have a new community manager. Goes by the name of North Monk on Reddit and Discord. He's 27, lives in Montreal, has a passion for Halo, already for 15 years. They're also looking for 3D sculptors and concept artists. So there's an application that you can fill out over there. And their latest team addition is Kuranta, who's a 3D modeler. So there you go. Little update from Downfall. For Forge Hub, they have the community favorites for January 2019 listed. They got their top picks. Third place being Unfathomable by RPod. Second place being Vingarun by Certified Champ. And first place being Fever Pitch by Sikkim Icaniko and Blaze. That's a oof.
That's a mouthful.
Sikkim Mechanico and Blaze. Wow. That oof. You could not even say that thing twice very fast.
No, you couldn't even say it once.
No, I couldn't. That's a hard name to nail right there. Jeez. Yeah. So there you go. I'm not tracking any other community news related things. Again, I didn't have much time to really prep for the show, and that just is what I had the time for. Going over to the Halo Twitter, though, today, I think was it today or yesterday? No, I think it was yesterday. But Bonnie Ross was inducted to the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences Hall of Fame at the DICE Awards. Yeah. There is a VOD up on IGN as well of her acceptance speech, which I haven't had a chance to watch, but I will go watch later. So, congratulations, Bonnie. It is an honor and pleasure to have met you in person and get to meet and talk with you on a regular basis, and by regular I mean yearly. But it is well earned, and we wish you just the best in the rest of your career wherever it takes you, and for all the lives that you inspire and empower through what you do at 343. So
yes, definitely congrats.
Keep it up.
As if she actually listens, but hey. She's a busy woman.
She is. She very much is. That was the only tweet that I had that really stuck out. I did mention the Postums tweet from earlier with the whole mongooses versus mongoose. And if I can go find the results of that
mongooses.
Yeah. Mongooses. I think someone replied to me earlier, Mongai on Twitter. So, according to the community, 53% say mongoose, 47% say mongooses.
So it's a tie.
According to my Firefox spell checker, because when I noticed that the images in the update were named mongooses and mongoose, Firefox red underlined mongoose, but didn't red underline mongooses.
Mongooses. Yeah, well, the dictionaries
So the Merriam-Webster
that
Dictionary
great.
website, if you go to it, says either way is acceptable.
Yeah.
So technically either way is correct.
The debate for the ages.
It will still be a debate for the ages. I don't think that's
Mongooses
changing.
or mongooses?
Or mongai. I got some funny reactions off of that tweet that I posted.
Really?
Yeah, Postum said I needed to update my dictionary, and then I had a friend say mongai, but yeah. So on to our topic of the week. So we asked folks last week, or technically this week, on Twitter and Facebook and Discord, with all the recent features added to MCC, excluding things that were in development, what would people be interested in seeing added to MCC? And we did get a few responses on Twitter and in the Discord. I don't think I saw anything on the Facebook page, but I will go ahead and check in the meantime. But over on Twitter, we'll go ahead and start with some responses there. If TweetDeck wants to respond or not, maybe they don't want to. Maybe we'll start with Discord first. How about that? And Twitter can decide to catch up if it wants to. So the first thing that we have is CIA, who is over from Halopedia, would love to see the missing Halo 4 content added to MCC, things like skins, armor, weapon skins, and so on. That was one of the things when MCC came out that did have me a little curious why they didn't have everything from Halo 4 in the game.
Well, yeah,
I mean, I know it is a hodgepodge of things.
Some things I can understand in Halo 4, like some of the armors mods or whatever they called them, like the one that allows you to gain XP faster. There's no leveling system in it, so you don't really need that one. But, there were some other ones. I forget what it was called. There was another mod that if your vehicle got destroyed, which, they were like toilet paper, it would eject you and not kill you. That one would still be pretty handy because the vehicles are still paper mache.
Yes, in Halo 4 they definitely are. But yeah, like some of the skins and armors were noticeably missing. And of course I can't really place my finger on any one in particular, but it was something that stuck out to me. It's like, yeah, this is missing.
Yeah, that's one thing I really wish they'd have done better is to include the entire game and not just piecemeal stuff out. It's like, a lot of as far as the armors, there's a lot of armors that were behind a paywall. You had to buy something from GameStop, you had to buy something from Walmart, you had to buy something from Amazon or, any, certain retailers to unlock this armor. And that I can kind of understand because they probably have an agreement with those vendors that this is the only way that people can get this armor is if they have to go buy something, a specific item from these retailers to get the code to unlock the armor. But there's some armors that were they were in the game that you could unlock that just aren't there. The specialty stuff, like I said, the stuff that you had to buy something to get, I can understand why those aren't there. Because that's probably a licensing agreement or something they had with the different vendors. But yeah, everything that came with Halo 4 should have been in Halo 4.
At least everything that made sense, or that makes sense.
Well, I mean, really, to take the time to remove 2 modification or armor modifiers, why?
No, I get it.
especially since we know what kind of time crunch they were under. I mean, the XP thing, yeah, I can understand that.
It's tough, for sure. But no, I think that was one of the things, and it's obviously not a big thing, but it is one of those things that is noticeably missing. Next thing we have is from I Pull Up Master. He wants Halo 3 Anniversary, which I'm pretty sure is not happening. I think they've
not currently, no.
It seems like they're not interested in doing a Halo 3 Anniversary at this point, at least.
At this point in time, we are not currently considering a Halo 3 Anniversary, is the last quote I heard.
Just like the only BR that they're worried about is the battle rifle.
Yeah. I really think the fact that they've invested so much time in MCC, I would be fine with no Halo 3 Anniversary.
And they did the 4K update for Halo 3.
I mean, yes, they could make it graphically more appealing. They could update all the graphics in it to bring it to today's standards. But
is it needed?
I think it would almost take something away from Halo 3. I mean, in Halo 2, yeah, the updated graphics are nice, but I generally play in the old graphics.
And the other thing to note with Halo 3 also is you have Halo 3 being the first 360 game in the Halo franchise. And you can still play it on 360, whereas Halo 2, you can't really do the online there anymore. You can still do customs if you had the land for it and the people to come over and play. But for the most part, if you're looking for games that are supported in current gen, I mean, Xbox 360s are still getting system updates. Microsoft is still supporting that console. Whereas the Xbox and all the Xbox titles, they're not. They're adding them to Game Pass and backwards compatibility, but they're not doing anything to support the original Xbox console itself. So having those anniversary titles makes sense there. While everyone wants a Halo 3 Anniversary, you can still play Halo 3 just fine on 360.
I can understand wanting the graphical upgrade.
I can too.
And that's fine. I understand it, but I don't see it being necessary. If they did it, likewise, I wouldn't argue with it. Don't get me wrong. If they decide to do it, that would be great. I'm fine with that.
But I'm not expecting it.
No, I'm not either.
I think it's safe to say that they're probably not going to be doing it. Fetched says Reach with a lot of A, C, and H's. He wants Reach included with Master Chief Collection, which a lot of people have voiced that. It is one of those things where Reach isn't Master Chief, and ODST was kind of the add-on because of all the issues that the game had. So all the games that had Master Chief in them are technically in the Master Chief Collection. It's not out of the realm of possibility where they couldn't add Reach if they wanted to, I think.
Reach, you can play it on the Xbox One. It's there via backwards compatibility.
Yeah, well, Halo 3, ODST, and 4, they're via backwards compatibility now, too. They weren't originally, but they are now.
For ODST, I wouldn't mind seeing the firefight portion come to MCC.
That would be cool.
I understand why it's not there. People have made the argument, bring Reach into MCC because the Halo CE Anniversary multiplayer was Halo Reach.
Yeah, I could see that.
It was the Halo Reach engine, but it's 6 maps, right? I think
6 or 7.
Yeah, 6 or 7 maps.
I want to say 7.
And I just really don't see the. Don't get me wrong; they were kind of fun maps, but
they were. They had a very similar feeling to the Halo 2 Anniversary maps for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was that clean, update, fresh feeling with modern Halo mechanics that felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fudge also says, also more fun skulls rather than the HCE update and Halo 2 Anniversary hard mode ones.
Yeah. I can't argue with that one.
It's all based on what the engines can do.
Grunt funeral for everyone.
Marine. How about Marine funeral skull? If a Marine gets killed, then they explode.
Oh, no.
Be another term for friendly fire.
Okay, but if you accidentally kill a Marine and he wipes out his entire squad, the AI better not start seeing you as a threat. Because you know
hilarious.
those Marines like to run and stand on top of your grenades.
Yes. And then there's the whole nudge splatters in Halo CE. Those are always fun.
You blow on a player, he falls over dead.
Pretty much. Let's see. Laird says reach out to MCC as well. And we have Hawkeye Strike say ODST firefight is a huge one. Maybe those other Halo 4 armor abilities and skins that are missing. So same as CIA said. He said ODST firefight as well. I think that'd be a pretty huge undertaking. I don't know what kind of coding would need to take place in order to get firefight on the dedicated servers. I don't know if it would be similar to Halo 3 and the ODST campaign or not. But if they could do an update graphically to ODST firefight and throw it into MCC, I know there would be people playing it. Without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, they really wouldn't have to technically retouch the graphics as far as, changing the way things look. Just make them available to be, in up to 4K to run on the Xbox One X.
Mm-hmm.
If people so choose.
Right. But people, they did the 4K update for Halo 3, and ODST is running into Halo 3 engines, so who's to say they couldn't do that 4K texture upgrade for Halo 4? Because I'm guessing it's something where they just took the source textures and re-exported them because they were probably optimized to be Halo 360 or Xbox 360 specific to match load times and whatnot. So take the original textures, just re-export them and remap them in the map files. That's all the responses that we had on Discord. We do have some on Twitter, and I checked Facebook. We did not have any responses on Facebook, but we had plenty of likes. So there's that. Don't just like it, people. Comment on it. We need input so we can talk about it on the show.
We want your input.
We want your noise. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyways,
they want to drink your blood. Oh.
Valentine's Day is full with hearts. So, T-Lock on Twitter says observer mode for casting tournaments. I think that would be awesome, but at the same time, almost technically impossible.
Yeah, great idea. I really don't think it's possible to do without breaking the MCC.
I mean, the debug modes in Halo 1 and Halo 2 do have fly cam in them, so you could have some kind of isolated camera in the game, but how do you tie that to an observer mode capability? That would be some hefty under the engine coding that would have to take place probably to get observer mode in there. Granted, I think it's a great idea. I just don't think it's that feasibly possible.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Dustin. Great idea. I don't think it'll happen.
I want it to happen.
Oh yeah.
I just don't think it will happen. That's a lot. That's a lot that would have to be accounted for. I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking like, what would have to change? I mean, there Halo 4 might already have some of the underlying architecture in it because there is the instant replay there, so there might be some underlying architecture there. Halo 3, maybe I don't know. Halo 1 and 2 are wash.
Halo 3, I mean, you have the theater there. So...
And Halo 2 had theater at some point.
You're capturing the information, already. So I'm sure there's a way that you could set up a way to actually watch it. But, I really think, with, like in Halo 5, the observer mode is probably related more to how you can watch a friend's gameplay while they're playing the game.
Well, you're getting a dedicated server feed on it. So you are still a client of the game, but you're just not providing input to the game. It's just how would you extrapolate that game? I mean, everything is on dedicated servers now for matchmaking, at least. So there's that, not custom games, which would be a problem.
One thing I'd like to see for observer mode in Halo 5 is to be expanded to beyond the 4v4 game type or player count.
That's a big one. I think it was just one of those things they were, no offense, but narrow-sightedly thinking that observer mode was going to be for HCS and the FFA stuff.
Well, I mean, that's why they made it. It was for HCS. That's why they developed it. They didn't develop it for anything else. They probably weren't even originally going to let us even have it. And they decided, to sweeten the pot and say, hey, guess what we gave you?
Yeah. It's like, oh, tournament organizers can use this. Yes. So if anyone in the chat wants to respond to the question too, go ahead. Because we have the last response here on Twitter that we have from Caddy Musician, who says, would really love some sort of XP progression system, 1 XP for a win like in Halo 3. Don't know how hard it is to implement into a game. I don't think they're going to be touching the ranking system in MCC.
Really kind of don't understand what he's asking because, I mean, you have a leveling system in Halo 3.
So I think he is, but like you had the different ranks that you could get. So like if your skill was only so good, you could still rank up.
Oh, you mean your generic rank, like recruit, lieutenant, admiral, things like that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So like you get to, like if you got to lieutenant rank, if your skill didn't go up, but you kept going, you would have, I think it's like first lieutenant, second lieutenant, and whatever is after.
I remember
that.
Yeah, I know.
So I think that's what he's talking about. But I don't see that. I mean, it was a cool ranking system. I don't see them implementing that in MCC.
It would be nice. Don't get me wrong.
It'd be kind of cool if that was one of the cool things in Halo 3 to me, was that you actually had military ranks in the game. It wasn't just a number that got slapped on, like in Halo 2. Halo Reach kind of did a cool thing with their ranks as well. But Halo 3, it was actual military ranks that you earned in game. That was cool. I would like to see something like that back in Halo at some point. I don't know if it'll happen, but it's kind of a nod to the armed forces out there and all the military guys. It's a military shooter. But yeah. That's it for the responses that we got on Twitter for features to add to MCC. GT, do you have a feature that stands out that hasn't been included in this list? And that's a tough question.
Well, really most of the things that I would like to see, they've already been either mentioned in the questions or have already been officially announced by 343 as something they're working on. Like I said, the only thing that relates to the MCC that I would like to see is not necessarily in MCC. I would like to see a web-based
stat system,
custom browser.
Yeah, because I guess they haven't specifically said whether or not the custom browser they're working on is in-game or web-based.
Well, I think they actually mentioned in-game.
Probably on the Trello board, actually.
Probably. But, I would like to see a good standalone or, integrated into the website, a way to browse through the different games, look at maps, and choose to download them from there. You'll be able to search either by, game type, gamer tag, game name, things like that.
No, that makes sense. I think if we get to the custom game list in the browser, though, it's because you wouldn't be able to join straight from the browser then, right?
No, just for you to basically bookmark it so that when you go to play custom games, you can pick it out of your menu.
Oh, you're talking about a file browser?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I misspoke. A file browser.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, I was like, wait, custom games browser. And it makes sense for like PC games where it's like click to join.
Oh, and MCC on PC.
That would be nice. I know there's a lot of people that would like to play it.
Oh, there's a lot of people that would like to play it.
Yeah. One thing that I know quite a few people have talked about recently with Halo 3 being the primary focus on tournaments lately is the stat tracking for MCC. Right now there's not technically an API, but there's a way to pull JSON information from Waypoint. So you basically you put an extra tag in at the end of like a stats URL, and that makes it into just the data only view of it, which I'm actually planning to incorporate with Virgil to help out some of the HCS Pro Talk guys, but there's no API for MCC, which kind of sucks a little bit. And there's another one I thought of earlier this week that I thought was a really good one, but now I don't know what it is.
See, you should have wrote it down.
I should have. Yes, you're right. I didn't.
Or sent yourself an email or something.
Yeah, I had a good one, but I don't remember what it was. Naruto brought this up, which, I mean, it's kind of been talked about a little bit, but we might as well bring it up. Being able to bring Forge maps from other Halos into MCC. I mean, we did mention that tool in here because of the couple of screenshots that they teased in the February update for MCC. At some point, if they could have that tool be usable by the community to say, hey, if I throw this map up on my cloud store and then somehow get that cloud store into that Forge conversion tool to import into MCC, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking the really only way to make that happen is to actually make it like a standalone tool like they did with Halo 5 Forge. Where you could actually download it to a PC. Because I don't see an Xbox being able to handle that unless they set up some type of dedicated server to handle it where, you can sign in on a website to your gamer tag and look at your file share and pick the map and say convert, and then it converts it and then puts it in your file share for MCC.
There's probably a convert box somewhere. Or they would have a server that would just do the conversion for you.
But, the way they were describing it, it sounds like there's a lot of hand touching that still needs to be done even after the conversion process happens.
For now, yeah. But with the latest update, it sounds like they have made improvements to it where they're not having to go and jerry-rig any of the other things in there. So it's probably a matter of identifying what things need to be converted from old file format to new file format. And if it's things like positioning or textures or the way that certain things behave just between the different Forge systems, I mean, at some point, it seems like you should be able to automate that process from end to end. And
yeah,
heck, if there's maps that you have, like you tried to run it through the converter tool and you just put a disclaimer out there saying, hey, you need to spot check your maps because there might be a couple of things offset, then it's easier than recreating it from scratch to have something that's 90% of the way there.
Well, that's all depends on how well the tool works with the glitching that was done to create some of these maps. And that's probably a big issue. And that's probably where they have the biggest problem with converting a map. I mean, your more simple maps where, you weren't phasing things and stuff like that probably are really easy to convert. But the ones that have a lot of phasing, like racetracks, mainly.
Even the HCS maps or the MOG maps were merged.
The more of that that's in a map probably makes it harder to convert. Because, they were technically doing something with the game or with the Forge that wasn't supposed to be possible.
So that's a big, that would be a big tool if it could be done. Yeah, I can't think of the other thing I was thinking of. Really sucks. That API though, that's a big one for me just because of I like to be script kiddie a little bit. Hence Virgil. I actually need to start working on him again. I have a couple of things I want to get done with him.
You need to make Virgil do all your posting for you.
Yeah, no kidding. As far as any other thing that I don't see anyone else chiming in the chat, I know we had Mercubu and Confal in here. Misa, Keys. I don't see any other responses, but yeah. So we got a couple of responses there. Seems like MCC is at a point where people are happy with it and enjoying it at least. So there's that. The big additions, obviously, Halo Reach would be nice. ODST Firefight would be nice. Stats API. Some of the missing content. Observer mode. Again, it'd be really cool. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I mean, of everything that's mentioned, I think the most highly probable thing of that list would be the missing content. That would be the easiest thing for them to do.
And there's not anything else on their Trello board that they're really looking at as far as additional features. They just have the custom games browser and the post-game comments report improvements. Then everything else is just fixes.
I really wish I still had that original wish list that they put out back when they announced they were going to doing the MCC updates.
It was in a blog post, right?
It was, but
so it's still out there.
It's still out there. Probably take me a day to find it.
Well, they have all the relevant updates on the Trello board. And your webcam's going to go laggy for a second because I'm trying to open it in Firefox.
Nice.
Yeah, that was just a nice little issue that I just noticed with the Skype NDI. And it looks like your video actually just froze.
Yep, I'm frozen.
Yeah, you want to turn your video off and on real quick?
Yeah, let me go in there.
See if that fixes the problem. Oops. Hey, learn things one step at a time. So, it doesn't look like it was in the first update. I'll try to not kill your webcam feed this time.
Too late, already did.
It's still going on my screen. There you go. Feature wish list. Here we go. This is from the MCC development update number 2. Customs game browser. Halo Reach. Additional expanded Spartan customization. Halo 3 ODST Firefight. UI and menu refresh.
Well, they did that.
They did that, yep. New XP ranking progression system. File share and file browser. Add Halo 4 missing content. And party up system.
That is actually a good one.
Yeah. I forgot about that one. Yeah, party up after a match. I totally forgot about that one. Yeah. There's this whole thread from the Waypoint forums that I didn't even think to look through either. Most of it's just playlist updates, though, as far as the forum posts go. Yeah, playlists. There you go. That's it for the topic. We do not have a topic next week because this is still in the works, but is likely going to happen. DJ Blue is going to be on the show
soon.
For those that have not heard, DJ is the event programming manager for Halo Outpost Discovery, and shortly after the announcement was made, I got in contact with him and asked if he could be on the show. And he is working with the proper authorities to get on the podcast and talk about some Outpost Discovery stuff. Some of the stuff is going to be probably repeats from what we discussed last week and just clarifying a couple of things. There's some details that wasn't in the announcement that he's allowed to talk about, that we're allowed to talk about. There's some things I actually do know that haven't been released and some things I don't know, which DJ would know. But we're going to be talking about what we can talk about and dive a little bit more into the detail, some of the finer details of the experiences, and additionally kind of just how things came to be with Outpost Discovery. Just where the idea came from, what was the foundation of the experience, how much like Halo Fest is it, yada, yada, yada. So it is going to be a show you do not want to miss. It might not be on Thursday next week. It depends on how schedules line up with getting DJ and potentially some other guests on, who I don't think I'm allowed to divulge yet, but it's Halo, so take a wild guess. Not that wild of a guess, but so that'll be next week's topic. So if you have some questions that you would like to ask DJ, keep it reasonable. Feel free to hit us up on Twitter and Discord. There will not be any discussions of Infinite whatsoever, so do not ask about Infinite.
Well, you can, but you won't get an answer.
Or we just will ignore the question. So take your pick. But yes, we're going to have DJ on at some point next week, unless things still fall through or they're still snowed out of the office on next week, because Snowmageddon is hitting them real hard right now. But the plan is next week to have DJ Blue PDX on the show to discuss Halo Outpost Discovery, and we're looking for questions. If people want to send in questions, I sent him a list of questions so he could get pre-authorization to talk about certain things or not talk about certain things. But if there's other questions that are a little more generic that I can throw his way, then I will. So please go ahead and send those on over to us. For the wrap up, we have the Loot Crate. For those listening to the show, you have until tomorrow night at midnight to order your cat crate. For those listening to us afterwards, well, you missed out. There is one more crate for the year, which we haven't had a rookie one yet, so I wonder what the rookie figure is going to be for the Loot Crate. If it's going to be like the stock rookie armor set and colors and all that stuff from the game, or I don't know if Loot Crate's done this in the past, but being able to customize, other than like shirt sizes and stuff, be able to customize a piece in the Loot Crate?
I don't know.
I mean, that'd be kind of cool if you could. I don't know if they do that, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do for the last figure. Because I believe it is the rookie. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And what the theme's going to be. Again, if you are listening to the show and you haven't ordered it yet, or if you're listening to us live, or sorry, yes, Noble 6, not the rookie. Thank you, Erkibu. Noble 6. Good catch on that one. But yeah, so the crate for Cat is ending midnight Eastern on technically February 16th, but it is 11:59 February 15th, 11:59 p.m. 9 p.m. Pacific time on February 15th, which is tomorrow. So if you're listening to us after the fact, then it's probably already come and gone. But the next crate will be out soon enough, and you can head on over to podtacular.com/loot crate to keep yourself updated. And then when you want to buy the crate or go to buy the crate, you can use the code Podtacular at checkout and get $3 off of your crate. You can also check out the Halo Hub. We are a Discord server that is dedicated to curating and hosting community content. So if you have community content that you work on, or if you know of content, then come over to the server and feel free to share. HaloHub.com. It's where Virgil lives as well. For game night this week, GT, what do we have on the plate?
I think we're going to do Halo 5 again, since last week we were kind of distracted with the podcast.
There you go. So we'll get a tweet out for that. Get an announcement going. So Halo 5, fun times. Warzone Assault's back this weekend too, being the second weekend of February. So we have that going as well. And for our live streams, we also have Sunday night when I stream my achievement stream, but I'll probably still stream, actually. I thought about maybe taking off, but I'll probably still stream. So I'll be streaming with Bobby and or Laird or some other people for some Halo Wars achievements on 360. So I'll still be working on that. And then streaming with the wife is a maybe or maybe not sure yet. That will be at 7-ish on my personal channel if we stream that. And then Frag Friday with GT will start at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time as well. You can check out the podcast recorded live on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, not sure if it's going to be on Thursday next week, but if it is, we'll let you know. And if it changes, we'll let you know as well. Check us out on all our social media platforms. We are on Facebook and Twitch. Or Facebook and Twitter. We also stream there for our podcasts. Our streaming platforms, we are on Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube. We also have an Instagram and a Discord server that you can check out. Our Spartan Company and Xbox Club is also available to you. You can just search Podtacular for all those and you'll find it. And we're also on all your favorite podcast aggregators, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Spotify, all that kind of stuff. Just whatever podcast aggregator you use, we are most likely on there. If we are not, and you want to have a podcast aggregator added, just let us know which one it is, and I can work on getting it added. An update on our Spartan Company, since we haven't covered that in a couple of weeks. We have Bodyguard, which is Protected Teammate. That one is a little less than 2,500 away from being completed. So still probably a couple months for that one at least, but that one's being slowly ticking up, which is nice. From Downtown, which is Kill an Enemy Spartan from Long Distance, we have just under 900 of those to go. And then obviously the last two are still the last two and will always be the last two. Killing Marines and killing an enemy Spartan with a shoulder bash. We do have plenty of slots in our Spartan Company, so if you would like to join, podtacular.com/company. And no Confoul. There's no MySpace. Doesn't go anywhere. I should probably make that short link just go to the Facebook page. that I should.
Might as well.
Yeah, that'd be funny. I think that'd be funny. It's like, yes, we might have a MySpace. Just podtacular.com/MySpace. It goes to Facebook. Go. Exactly. Any last alibis before we wrap up this podcast, GT?
Not tonight. All
right. So that'll do it for us, ladies and gents, listening to the show. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you all next week for a fun-filled and info-dump-filled episode with DJ Blue PDX. We'll catch you all on the flip side. Till then, keep on fragging them trucks.